Good evening. Alex here, back with another live stream. This evening I'm going to be carrying on with a mix of a track that I may well have started on stream, can't remember. I've certainly worked on it a lot. It's called Channel X. I started mixing this probably a week ago or something, maybe longer, and I'm going to be carrying on with it. I'm going to listen back to it now. I'm going to listen back to it in full, right to the end. I've got my journal here, and I'm going to make notes on anything that I hear, and a kind of perhaps a list of things that I want to do now. Anything that kind of stands out that I think needs addressing. There's kind of a big shift in sections in this tune. Let me get it up. It says the Ableton project. There's a big shift in sections. We've got a kind of it's kind of like an ambient jungle drum and bass type start, and then it kind of transitions into like a trance techno type outro with 303 and a different breakbeat. So my main concern at this point is how they're sounding together and if the sections are working volume wise. I might move about while I'm listening to this. Normally I would listen to a bounce, but it kind of wasn't at the point I wanted to bounce it last session. Usually I always do that because it's like an 8-minute, 9-minute track. I just didn't get to that point. It was too much work. So without further ado, we'll give it a listen in full, and then I'll make notes. I might make notes as we go on, but I'll probably just try and listen to it without making anything and just rely on memory. Yeah, cool. That felt pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I think the blend between sections, like they're kind of like mix wise and volume wise, it's certainly. I didn't really notice a huge disparity between the two. It felt like they kind of occupied the same world volume wise and everything else. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I do have one point, and that was when the acid, like the down, when that comes back in, maybe just stripping that back. I can probably just do that now. I don't even need to note of it. Just kind of brought the found sounds in as well that hadn't been. Yeah, like bass wise and balance wise, I'm really quite like. The only thing is the main break could be a tad loud, but I think I'm just going to live with that for now, and I can always adjust it. Like I'll probably play it out and see if there's if it bothers me. Yo, Rich Lurkin, going man, hope you're good. Okay, so yeah, that's that. That's the first of all. I'm going to save a version. Every time I work on something, it gets a version saved. It's good just for seeing. I rarely go back. I rarely go backwards, but it's good. It's kind of, you never know when you. I don't do it because I'm scared of kind of bouncing stuff. It's more just a habit. It's more a habit I've got into. So get rid of myself. I think my priority now is I'm gonna do a master, because at the moment it's reasonably quiet, so I'll have to watch my volumes. And so where does it look? There's even some stuff here that I haven't bounced down. Normally I always like. Yeah, I like that kick. All right. Okay, so let's give a master a go. Now, I kind of I follow the same process for mixing and mastering, um, like on every mix I do. And when we get to this stage, it's really EQ, compression, saturation, limiting, bringing it up to volume. So where we've got the loudest parts kind of happening here, haven't we? I think. Cool. All right. So first of all, I think I'm gonna do two masters. I'm gonna put them in a chain and compare them side by side. I was reading up on the Plugin Alliance, the Master Desk, and I'd stuck that in before and was kind of just a bit unsure of what the hell controls were, but read up on it since, and feel pretty happy with it. So I think it's supposed to have presets, but I don't know where they are. Preset bank. Oh, okay, so it's just A, B, C, D. Fine. So that's going to be on one. I'm going to do that on one. I'm going to do a comparison of that with how I normally do it. Yeah, we'll come to that. So let's just put you here. The first thing I'm going to do is just bring everything down a little bit, because it's kind of, I'm looking to kind of work at RMS -18 just for the final plugins on the master channel. Let's over. I'm going to duplicate that. We're going to have a couple of EQs. I think first of all, that's probably fine there. That's the kind of mono. It collapses everything beneath 120 hertz to mono. So got those EQs in. Got oversampling on. I don't really know what that means, but I think it's like to do with sample rates, isn't it? And distortion, like digital distortion. I don't know. I would be glad. Cuba 1956. Nick, sometimes I know you like to watch these ones. If you have any comment on what oversampling is, please feel free to add it. Hey Jarson. Okay, so we've got EQ. We've got two EQs in. I'm going to have one operating in MS in mid-side mode, and I'll come to that, what I do with that, and one just standard EQ. Another plugin I'm going to give a go to is the Focusrite. This is a channel strip, I think, but I did quite like the EQ on this. I was using it on a mix the other day, and I rarely buy plugins. All of these are free, I think, with the kind of their essentials bundle, or they did some kind of offer recently, and yeah, I gave it a go on a mix the other day and was kind of pretty happy with it. I really like their Shadow Hills mastering compressor as well. I'm gonna stick that in there. I liked the black box. God, I'm just using all their stuff, aren't I? Often I use the Sound Toys saturator, the decapitator. So why don't we pull that in as well, just in case we can do a little bit of an A/B between the two, see what we think. Cool. We could group those maybe. I nearly always go to a glue compressor as well afterwards. And this kind of thing will work on, like, this is the mastering chain I'd use on any material. The controls are different. Turn this off. So, like, sorry, the settings on the controls are different. I sometimes like a bit of, see, like, you know, like I tend to go, if I can get it sounding good just with a few choice things that I'm into, then I just roll with that. So this Focusrite BX like the Focusrite channel strip console thing, got an 18, got almost like an airband 18 kilohertz. I mean, what's this like compared to how we can go right up to 22, can't we? On just a standard EQ8. Sometimes I just go with, yeah, what I'm feeling sound wise at the time. This has got a reasonably nice high band as well, and sometimes the mid clean up there is pretty good. Okay, and then my limiting is, I usually do a couple of limiters. In fact, there's one thing I'm going to do now, -0.1. After watching the Ned Rush compress it like an idiot, the first one I was involved with actually, where Nick from, I can't remember the name of his mastering service, but he was on there with another mastering engineer, Aaron, and there's some really good stuff about LUFS and about about loudness for streaming platforms that kind of really put my mind at rest. Namely that your music, like jungle or whatever, or loud dance music, your music would be penalised by, you know, as much as any other dance track, you know. Of course, there are like I think there are other things to save this as a default. There are other things to be mindful of, namely that like tonal balance and compression and all that stuff. So we've got two limiters, and then I also like to use now the master desk. This plugin has a limiter too. I believe the idea is you're getting the dynamic range up to in between this green bit. I'm not quite sure exactly what that refers to in terms of like what I'm looking at on the metering, which is normally like I get it. I guess it's getting. Yeah, okay. I think it's getting that's an RMS perhaps, because I normally look to get the green, the RMS value on Ableton's meter to about -6, just from other, like if it was like an acoustic song or something, you know, real world instruments, you wouldn't be dealing in the same numbers. It wouldn't be the same thing. So I'm going to stick I'm going to leave that gain control there before group that. But I'm just going to turn that off, just for the purpose of comparison. Base model that, right? And this what I'm going to do here, group this. Sorry, we didn't create a new chain. I'm going to get this master thing. I'll pull that on as a second chain. So we'll call this A, W. Call this one master desk. Something of a plugin comparison. We're going to turn this one off for now, and I'm going to deal with that second. So we'll get a nice master happening on here. And then I'm just interested to see, and this is how I like to learn new plugins, is kind of in practice like this. And if I'm not confident with it and I'm not sure, you know, I'm not sure if I like it or not, I'll just always go with the safe option. So, all right, let's go with a bit of. So my first attempt would be to kind of EQ a bit to kind of make it a bit more I don't know, like anything you do on the master desk, on the master bus, sorry, you're looking to I'm thinking about gel and overall kind of, to me, a mix, I was thinking about this the other day, a mix and a master, it's a bit like tuning an instrument, you know, it's a bit like having a guitar that plays really well or a piano that plays really well. It's these fine movements, you're tuning up a mix to kind of work as one cohesive whole. And if you haven't got, you know, if you haven't got the right strings on, or it's not tuning, you know, it's fine movements to get everything working together. And then the master really is just the final polish. So I think we've got this what's this section doing? Is this like a compression and gate section? Compression in. They've got a filtering section to the compressor. I'm turning these off. I don't want any compression at this point. I'm just going to go with the bands here. So you see we've got a kind of a bell curve here, and you can set the Q value with this yellow one, and you can set the where it's happening in the frequency spectrum. So I'll just turn it. We've also got these kind of high pass and low pass filters. I think that's on. So you can hear that. So it's kind of, I'd be tempted, I normally always do a bit of a turn down about 600 or something. I do it to kind of like, because for my music, there's a lot of kind of warmth and density there, and I don't like to carve out too much space in the mids and the lower mids, because I find it can make things sound a bit thin, like and less warm. That's too much. Just a little bit. I might increase this. And this is low mid frequency cut. So I might go for a bit of one at 160. These are kind of standard bands on some things. Just comparing the two, comparing them side by side. Never like to go too heavy-handed on the EQ stuff. So that's with it on. That's off. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm going to pull that down a bit. The high band, high shelf. Okay, yeah. Are we losing any gain? I think the gain's pretty good. All right, I like that. That's good. And maybe that's. What else can we do? Can we sculpt a bit more? All right, turn it off. You can really hollow things out if you cut too much of that mid. Maybe we can do something. That's fine. Just having that like a bit like I think again referencing that mastering like compress it like an idiot, like and we were talking about the Paul Tech EQs and how like the if no he's not on. Hey Beat Specific, hey Easy G, how we doing? Sine waves. I was just sine waves, just using it as a very light touch EQ. So really quite subtle. Yeah, but how the Paul Techs, like on the bands that you would increase, there was kind of immediate cut, quite a tight Q value cut after the increase. Because I think there was some kind of fixed, yeah, on the master. Mainly because I got it, I was just messing around with it on the, I know it's a channel strip and not like a group thing, but. I kind of think you can use these things for if they've got. I like channel strip controls where it's knob based and not like too much visual graphic stuff, because then it kind of forces you to use your ears a bit more. So let's. The next one thing I want to do is like some side EQ. So I have it set up on my master. I have key commands mapped to split the mono and the side. So if I play the mono. That's just mono. And then this is side. There's a lot of like low end, so I'm gonna cut that off a bit. You know, you can carve it out with just. So I'm not going to do anything with that. Maybe a subtle boost. Ah. Yeah, man. I've been chatting bare Nick chat on this one. Yeah, I know. I haven't downloaded them. I need to download them. I need to actually pull my finger out and download, because I know he put them in the chat, that video, didn't he? Because that's the kind of thing I was talking about, you know, here where a boost is followed by a sharp cut. So this is the Shadow Hills mastering compressor. I quite like this. Hey, Bogdy, thanks very much, man. That's good. Really good to hear it's helping people. Jarson, why can't the platforms just have one unified? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've skipped over that. Yeah, I think the main thing to say about all of that stuff is like, don't worry about it. Just kind of get it as loud as you can and let them worry about it. You know, because yeah, I know it's good, isn't it? Have you seen these in real life? Because they kind of look like they look pretty cool. So what we have on this, and I'm still kind of, I think we've got two. Right, it's a dual compressor. You like they're linked at the moment, so but I think you can run. So what have we got here? It's running on stereo mode at the moment. You can run it dual mono, and that's what I think why you've got two banks of these compressors. You've got an optical modelled compressor and a discrete one. So this is something to do with circuitry and stuff, and I'm not sure about exactly what that means. But I can use my ears, and we can give it a go. So I recall. Let's try both of them. So there's no compression happening at the moment. I think with the optical threshold, there's a set attack and you can't adjust the attack and release of the thing. So maybe that's good for what we're doing. You can change the kind of this thing called here, like is it hardwire or something? You can change nickel, iron, and steel, and these seem to kind of change the quality of the compressor. So we'll get some compression happening. I don't want loads. You'll see the compression happening when the needle starts to duck a bit, and I'm probably going to go for like, you know, -3. Well, we'll just hear with our ears. I can hear that now. That's already quite compressed to me. It's nice. It's kind of got like well, a nice trick with compression is like if you do it lower volumes, you can hear the transient better. And we're losing gain. You see, if you look on this master thing here, we're losing that gain. So I'd need to adjust the gain to pull that up a bit, but that's too much compression for me. I just want, like that's good. Maybe lower. Matching the gain here. Let's try these modes. So they were nickel. That's iron. That's steel. So I'm hearing like that's sounding a bit more. Steel's quite nice. I think you can bypass these. Yeah, that's bypassed. I like nickel. There's a sidechain filter as well. What's this set at? Can you see? Oh, cool. So I'm gonna try and let the bass come through a bit, like the low end. So it's not triggering the compressor. I'll turn this off now, and I'm going to do it on the glue compressor because it's easier to demonstrate. But So I want the like really low end stuff just coming through. Like that. I don't want the really low end stuff triggering the compressor, so it kind of it moves all of that out of the way, or there's a high pass filter to kind of get rid of that. So it'll be looking more to the so I might pull this down. Pull the attack up a bit and the release. Don't want too much, you don't want to overdo it because you can just hear it. You know, it's already too squashed. Bring up the gain. But that's what that sidechain filter is doing. It's allowing the bass through. You can hear it's crushing it a bit more now because the bass is so loud. And it's a nice way to kind of get big full bass. I found, like big full subs, because it's being compressed by the volume of the higher material, the higher higher frequency content stuff. Hey Doms, how we doing? So we've got, that's with the shadow hills on as well, and the same principle. So I'm just going to match the frequency there, 125 or something, is it? Yeah, that's fine. So you see, there's no compression happening now on this. Oh no, it's not on. Lol. Another thing you can do is hit it quite hard and then blend the signal together. So maybe if we try discrete as well. I'm going to set the ratio to 4. I'm going to set the attack medium maybe. And the recover, which I guess is like the release, probably there, like 2 clicks in. And then pull the threshold down until we start seeing some compression. Okay, we're losing gain here, but that's... Okay, so that's the discrete. Nice, that's so like clicky and compressed. But probably too much, so I'm gonna blend it in. Like parallel compression. That's nothing. Maybe like there, 35. Maybe some of the glue as well. Again, too much. That's here, maybe. So let's compare it now to our. Let's go with our unmastered reference track. That's nothing. I'll turn the volume up a bit. That's nothing. Yeah, nice. Might pull this down a bit. That's nothing. That was my unmixed version, so this is unmixed. And this is where we are with this one. Nice. All right, so we got decapitator and black box. I don't like to do too much saturation, so why don't we group these, and I'm gonna have one on one and one on the other. Decapitator on one and AB between them. We've got black box, decapitator. So black box again is, look at me, the Plugin Alliance celebration today. This is like a valve modeled saturation unit thing, and again it was free. Again, when I'm like putting things saturation on mixes, gotta be careful not to go too heavy, because you'll just make things. You know, you want the you want the mastering to almost be, you know, you want to hear it, but you don't want to hear it at the same time. So that's just with nothing happening on it. So you can hear these are the, I guess it's the circuitry they're running through. So it's just saturation frequency, that's that, and that's saturation. Everything's set to 50%. Oh, nice, yeah. It adds quite a lot of gain. I'm really just kind of scanning through the controls, listening by ear to what's happening here. The gain's quite high on this, isn't it? Nice, so that's on, that's off. All right, I'm gonna. That's only gonna be low. I just want to hear it. Okay, that's off. Nice. Right, let's try decapitate it now. I like A. That's black box. Let's just solo them. Black box. Decapitator. Oh, okay. I don't know, I reckon I might prefer black box. Thanks, Toms. Okay, cool. Get it. I kind of like it without it for the master. Alright, yeah, I'm going with black box. Okay, cool, so let's do some limiting then. Just make sure you're all quiet. So with the limiting, what I like to do is I kind of like to, let's save this, I like to use a few limiters to kind of shave off a bit of gain here. Why I do that, probably why does anyone do this? You hear this somewhere and you try it out and you're like, yeah, I think I prefer it. I think like, it seems that I can get things I can get things a bit louder without compromise, like without distortion, doing it this way. Why exactly? The science behind that I couldn't explain to you, but from trying it out, it works better. Yeah, I'm an empiricist. I work by experimentation. You know. Okay. So ozone, but I just use that purely for the maximizer. I'm going to set this to -0.1, and I like the second one, and I'm going to just turn this off for now. So that'll be the last thing. So yeah, I just work till we see a little bit of gain reduction, like just like there or something. Then I'm going to set the second one on. Add a bit more. I mean, this is already pretty loud. Because we're around -18, that's great. I mean, I can tell you from the metering there, that's plenty loud enough for a club. See if we can push it a bit more though. Yeah, I'm looking at the RMS value here of -8. That's fine. That's perfectly loud enough. So that's that. Let's see if we can get something happening on this master desk. This is a comparison. And then I'm going to go through and listen to the whole thing again, just maybe tweak some controls. So from what I understand here, let's see if we could just use it. Like you're going to want to increase the volume till the dynamic range is in between here. The foundation has something to do with the bass, and then this is the harmonic distortion. This knob here. You have tone control, and you have resonant filters and a compressor mode. It's naturally set with a limiter to -1 or something like that. So let's just see what we get out of it. You know, let's just go with this. Stereo enhance, wonder what that does. Okay. Maybe that's pretty cool, but the idea is it's like got everything in one package. Bass. Yeah, you can hear that. Leave that at 0. De-esser. Nothing happening, is there? Okay, I mean, I kind of like this, yeah. I think this is some kind of thing. If it detects things that are not working in these areas, it cuts everything out and solos them. So that was mastered. I would definitely chuck that on something for a quick master. Definitely. Got various modes for. Alright then, let's so we'll go between them. So this is the master desk. Let me just check them. So this is master desk, and then this is that was master desk. This is mine. What's happening there? Why is that going? Yeah, mine's better, I think. Yeah, cool. So what I'm going to do now is like I like those. So that master desk thing could certainly be good for a quick master, and maybe like the mid side bit is pretty cool where you can stereo and I don't like to do any of that too much of that stuff because I'm always wary of how it's doing it and if it's just like delaying stuff or adding some kind of. There's nothing wrong with like it's kind of why I don't trust or why I'm not into like AI mastering and stuff like that. I like doing it myself, you know. Again, it's like tuning an instrument. It'd be like getting a robot to tune an instrument for you or something. You know how you like to play it. That's the aim here. I know how I like my mixes and masters to sound if I do them, and yeah. So I'm just gonna check we're kind of from because I probably won't listen to the whole thing now. Well, I will do for you for the sake of you guys, and maybe. Good to see people on tonight though. It's Channel X. I might well adjust things as we go along here. I'm happy with that. That kick does look loud. What I would say is that in a lot of techno tracks I've seen in a session that, and I can think of one now. I won't play it because I'm copyrighted. I used to use reference tracks a lot more, but now I tend to. Good practice, but I tend to just go by. So what we'll do is I'll turn this one off, and if like this has got a very big kick, I'm sure. Let's have a look at how this looks here. Kick here. Okay, that's pretty loud. Let's. It's meant to be big and huge and sustained, and I think it fulfills that, and it's not causing the limiter to like distort. I think it works. I'm going to bounce that out as it is, like, because we'll test it in the club, and if it's devastating, then go back to the drawing board with it. I think that once upon a time I would have, like, if a mix didn't work, I would probably not know. It would take me a lot of time to work out what was doing it, whereas now over time I've kind of just worked out, like, the more mixes you do and the more kind of feedback you can gather from playing it out or playing it at parties or whatever, purely from like how the mix sounds. I think like with any of this, with any mixing in that, it's only as good as the tune you're mixing. You know, like if you've got a crap tune, then no amount of mixing will make it sound better musically. But if you've got something you're happy to work with, then yeah, take the opportunity if you can to listen to it on as many systems as possible. In ear, that's what I'll do on my cheap in ears tomorrow on the like my commute to work. I'll test this out on those and just see how they sound. And if they don't sound terrible on that, then I'll be happy with it. Like if there's something that's really, usually I can kind of hear if they're a bit too harsh, they kind of comes through on if I've oversaturated things or there's too much reverb or something, say. But nowadays, if it's in the general ballpark, I'm kind of happy to just move on to another tune. You know, if it's sounding reasonably decent. Yeah, that's Channel X with that crushing techno kick at the end. Yeah, I think that's like it's boomy, but like it's kind of what I want. I think it works. I'll test it in the club and see. Could just like destroy everything. So let's sure for a nice bounce. Let's export this. I'm going to export this as a WAV with diver. Power one, not an MP3, and we're going to go for that. Let's go export. Cool. Done, isn't it? But should be going in release really now. Okay, I'll let that export now. I'm gonna. I worked on it today. I worked on it before. Anyway, dates. Can move that on to next week. Although I will just listen to it tomorrow. I think. I have a lot of questions about the Trello board. It's a Mike Monday tool. Spoken about him before, but he has his own YouTube channel, Make Music Your Life. He does music production courses. I'm nowhere affiliated with him, but I really like this and it really works for me. It's kind of built around an automation, a Zapier automation. I reverse engineered this from watching his stuff. So, and like the thing is, this is not his material. If you like, this isn't the important stuff of what he does. But I find it really useful for organising stuff. I get a lot of questions about it. So I'm going to let that export now. Thanks everyone who was watching. I'd like to say thank you to my patrons and everyone who supports me here on Patreon. If you want to support the channel, tell your friends. Like it. Seems to be subs are going up. So that's really nice. Means a lot for me. Yeah. Drop me a Patreon or go on Bandcamp, buy some music or listen to my streams, whatever. Happy with it, leave a comment. Hope you found something useful in this, and I'll be sure to make you guys let everyone hear back this at some point in the future. But this is kind of done for me. If I really like, the only unknown at that point is this big kick. But whenever I listen back to it away from session, I'm kind of like, it doesn't seem to bother me. That's another the cocktail party effect. If you're listening too intently to something, you can increase the volume. You kind of notice it more. It's best to kind of have some objectivity and let it wash over you. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you around. Cheers, everyone.